you? My name is Carina, and I am going to be one of your teachers in elementary adults this year. We are going to work mainly on the use of the language and how to use it. So we are going to learn some grammatical structures, vocabulary. We are going to read and listen to real conversation and texts and analyze this language. Of course, we are also going to practice how to write and speak properly, right? So, today I am going to introduce something connected to last class, that is experiences, and especially the tense that we use to talk about experiences. Let's start. To talk about our experiences, we use the present perfect tense. Let's see an example. Have you ever been to a wedding ceremony? In this sentence, the part of the structure that says have you ever been is the present perfect tense, and it is used to talk about experiences, things that happen in our life, but take a look, the time does not appear because it is not known or even important. The importance is on the action itself. It is an experience. I don't care when the action happened. Let's see some other examples. I've traveled a lot in South America. She has enjoyed many types of food. I have never eaten sushi. They have not lived in many countries. All these sentences have something in common, and that is that time does not appear. It is not there. So, what is important here? The action itself. That I traveled, that she enjoyed, that I never eaten sushi, and that they have not lived in many countries. So, how do we form these present perfect sentences? Well, in the affirmative form, we have to write sentences like this. First the subject, then the auxiliary have or has, and then the past participle form of the verbs. Let's look at some examples. We have visited Italy twice. Or she has learned 4 languages. Pay attention that here we have the subject, we, and the same happens here with she, then have or has, and the verb in the past participle form. What about the negative? Well, we have 2 forms to express negative ideas. The first one would be like this, to use the subject, haven't or hasn't, and then the past participle. For example, she hasn't eaten Indian food. Or, you haven't played badminton. As you can see, we have the subject, hasn't or haven't, and then the action. But there is another way of expressing negative sentences, and that is to use the subject, have or has, with never, and then the past participle form of the action. So, for example, I can say, we have never seen a ghost, or she has never studied German. Or if we use the same sentences as a previous example, we can say she has never eaten Indian food. And if we want to ask a question, especially a yes-no question, as you can see here, we use have or has, then the subject, then the time expression ever, and finally the past participle form of the verb as usual. For example, has she ever eaten Indian food? Have you ever played badminton? And answers are very simple. Yes, I have, or no, I haven't. In the first case would be, has she ever eaten Indian food? Yes, she has, or no, she hasn't. But how do I know when to use have or has? And what is the past participle form of the verb? Well, we use have with the pronouns I, you, we, and they. And we use has with he, she, or it. And what about the past participle form? Well, the past participle can be regular or irregular. If it is regular, we add ed, ied, or d to the verb. But if it is irregular, then we have to check the third column of the list of irregular verbs. And what about those two words, ever and never? Well, they are time expressions. They are used with the present perfect when we want to talk about experiences. We use ever in questions and never, as we have seen before, in the negative form, or to express a negative idea. As you can see in the example, have you ever been to Paris? No, I haven't. I have never been to Paris. As you can see in the example, we have the typical structure, have, the subject, and the past participle. But before the past participle, we write the time expression ever. In the case of the negative, we write as usual, subject, have or has, that is the auxiliary. Then we also have the verb been, but before that we write never, that is the time expression. So, let's revise. Take a look at the example. Have you ever been to a wedding ceremony? Yes, I have. In this case, the woman is asking for the other woman's experience, if she has ever been to a wedding ceremony. Time is not important here. She's not asking when was that. She just asked for something that happened in her life. That is an experience. But what happens when we want to give some details about this wedding ceremony, for example? When we want to start talking about that particular moment and give some more information about it. Let's look at an example here. Have you ever ridden a camel? Yes, I have. Where did you do that? I rode a camel in Egypt. Did you like it? Yes, I did. It was very cool. So, in this conversation, the idea is that the person first introduces the experience using the present perfect, as you can see here. Have you ever ridden a camel? Yes, I have. because time is not important there. But when this person starts giving more details, like where that happened or if he liked it, we are talking about a specific moment. He rode a camel when he was in Egypt. It's not just a moment in his life, or any moment in his life, I mean. It is that particular experience, that particular moment. So that is when we use the past simple. So we can say that when time is not present in the sentence, when we don't know the time, we use the present perfect. As in the example, I have been to London, because it is a general experience. But when time is specific and we know it, then in that case, we use the simple past. As in the example, I went to London last week. Because time is so specific, so it can be yesterday, last summer, 2 months ago, or any other moment in particular. So, in conclusion, have you ever been to a wedding ceremony?